Okay, part two, back into this. Let's get this going. All right. Now we got some variations, I believe. So we're going to be at 19, starting at 1990, I believe. So let's get this going. We got five of these and a whole bunch of those. And then there's the old Paul Gibson. Okay. The infamous Paul Gibson. Okay, so the first one we got here is the Chris Hinton 1990 um, Pro Set. So it's just a 1990 Pro Set card, right? Well, it really isn't. So I just so happened to be very blessed and met a guy who had a half a case of 1990 Pro Set, and I was just at the time I was just buying boxes. I knew the variations were tough in these, so I was buying all the boxes of Pro Set I could ever find. Well, I got them from the guy for $2 or $3 a piece, and I think there were about 14 or 15 boxes, or however many were in the case. But these were all within those boxes, and they were. This is a transitional error variation. So it's got the traded on the front. Some of them do, some of them don't. But the wording on the back is different. So this one's not cataloged anywhere except for junkwaxgems.com that I know of, and it says has been named to six Pro Bowls. So there's one of those without the traded stripe, but the one with the traded stripe or swatch triangle thing, whatever the heck you want to call it, is common. But this one is not. This is one of those rare, ultra rare transitional errors. So you buy boxes after it was just they made the mistake while they were correcting the error is what the thing is. So some of the transitional errors are worth more than the original error or the corrected, the third version or fourth version or fifth version. Some of them are just, I mean, it's outrageous. But that Junk Wax Gems website catalogs it all, and they even have pictures on in some cases and stuff. Well, here's another one. I got two nines. So these are extremely rare, and I've sent in five. And I'm not. I don't know whether I want to auction these or, I mean, because I'd have to promote it somehow because the certain people that would be looking for these would be willing to pay a premium for these because they're already tough to find raw. See, it has been named as you can see again. So that's a 9.5 on that one. And then here's another 9.5. It just kind of stinks. But what I'd have to do is I wouldn't be able to sell them all at the same time either. Because you kind of flood in the market. Even if I'm the only one with five of them graded, which I probably am, then you're still flooding the market. So it's kind of like you saw with that Cracker Jack find. I think they were trying to sell all those cards at once. And then somebody was like, whoa, you gotta chill on that because you're ruining the prices of the cards, your own cards, by raining them down in the market all at once. So here's a 10 in that has been named. So these are the only five graded cards on earth that I'm aware of this card. So this transitional variation, and I got two nines, two 9.5s and a 10. So I don't know what to do yet. I might, if I was going to auction them, then I don't know how I'd promote that to let anybody know that the auction was going to be going on, because otherwise I'm just going to get destroyed like everybody does in auctions. So if you don't have the right promotion or the right timing, I do not recommend auctioning anything. And I know people always say, oh, you check the sold prices. Man, I don't think anybody should be auctioning anything, because I think that's the only place you can get bargains. But the people that are auctioning the cards are getting, in my opinion, they're getting wrecked. They're selling cards for under the market value. So I actually like to pick in between the buy it now price and the auctions. There's got to be a happier medium somewhere in between, because the auctions these days are just, they're ending so low, it's insane. And even on some rare cards. So this is another error. I same guy I bought these boxes from, or no, you know what? This might have been my local card shop, but I was going all over town and all over the state, buying up all of these too for the for the tougher errors, and I was getting them for $2-3 a box, $5 a box maximum. So that's the Ray Bork Memorial Trophy. But this is an extremely rare error because there's no silver. These are all silver at the top. You usually can't even barely tell the difference between the silver line and the top. That's plain as day white. So same down here. It's silver on silver. It's a silver stripe on top of a silver stripe. So when I saw these, it stuck out like a sore thumb. I'm like, whoa, I've heard about these. They're like unicorns, but now I have a whole bunch because I came out of the same box. So, and it was funny too, because I bought a whole bunch of boxes from the same sources and only one box had them. So, but I got 3 of the Bork. So all white, and that's a Hall of Famer as well. So I don't really know what to do with these. I mean, I want to sell them. They don't have a place in my collection. I just collect Hall of Famer rookies, more or less, and guys I think will make it eventually one day. Yeah, another Ray Bork, but that one's in the 10. So I wasn't sure how they'd grade these either. I was kind of just throwing a dart because would they just come back authentic? Because it's a factory defect, or here's Lester B. Pearson in 9, and that's Messier on the back. So same situation there. And then here's a 10. And that one, Messier. So I got a 9 and a 10 on that. And then this is the Clarence S. Campbell. I had 2 of the Clarence S. Campbell as well. And strangely enough, in the same box, there's more award winner cards in this set, but these were the only 3 out of that box. So as you can see, that's Edmonton Oilers evidently won the Campbell Trophy that year. And then here's a 9. So yeah, all the other ones in that box were silver on silver. So I think only probably Jackson Coopage knows how rare those things are. So I really don't even know. And then this one, this is another one of the tougher errors cataloged on that website. But as you can see, it's Tom Fergus, and this is the word that is, I mean, I know some of these are so trivial, but the master set collectors are they're serious about them. So in high grade, these are almost impossible to find, let alone pull one from a box these days or anything else. So that's another just kind of transitional error. 9.5 on the Fergus, and they recognize that one on the site as one of the tougher ones to find, I guess. So, and then this one's just a random printing error I found in one of the same boxes. It's just got a big old white box on there. So I figure the same kind of people that collect the one would gravitate toward this as well. And then this one's not cataloged in any way. I mean, it's just a random print error, just like that Bo Jackson, really, technically. But anyway, somebody out there might want that. And you know what? Whoever had it, they claimed they got the only one until proven otherwise. So I've never seen that one anywhere else. So, and that's the only one I got like that. I've got a monster box that's still full of all the commons, just in case any new, variations or errors do pop up. So they're always on hand. They're always fresh out of the pack, still sitting there in the rows. So just waiting for a new one to pop up. But here's that infamous Paul Gibson 89 score with, I think is that Luis Salazar in the back? I think that's Luis Salazar in the background. Yeah, I don't know if he's, I don't know what's going on with him there, but, the standard baseball stuff, but I think, yes, we see that in every game, don't we? The adjustment. The cameraman just so happened to be clicking right at that same exact moment. So I'm shocked this card isn't more famous in gaining, popularity again, because this is an infamous card. I mean, and from what I've seen, I don't think there is another 10 PSA or SGC. So from what I saw, if I remember correctly, there's not a higher graded version of that on Earth. Where are we? Okay. Get into some more non-sports. And I forgot I got to do all the PC stuff at the end too. Dang, I better hurry up. All right. 89 Topps Batman. This one, the Jack Nicholson. I just, I figure if any's really Jack Nicholson rookie card in this set, or first card in this set, it's the one that says Jack Nicholson on it. Makes sense to me. And then 89 O-Pee-Chee, Secret Life of Bruce Wayne. I like this one because it was a picture of Michael Keaton without the makeup, and it's just him, and it's a close up, and just seems like kind of an underrated card. But that's an O-Pee-Chee in a 9.5. Then we got the Tim Burton filmmaker, and this is this is O-Pee-Chee as well. So Tim Burton's, I haven't been able to find an earlier card of him. So that's O-Pee-Chee Tim Burton, 89 Batman in an 8. And O-Pee-Chee, this is directing Michael Keaton. So this is a card that acknowledges Michael Keaton's name. So, but then again, I mean, you're almost focusing more on Tim Burton there than you are on Michael Keaton. He's off to the side and he's in costume. So O-Pee-Chee, 0.5. And now we got this is the collector's edition. So this is the Tiffany version of the directing Michael Keaton card. And I had the Tim Burton. There's other ones in this order, but they're either in the return pile or they're in my keeper pile. There wasn't very many I wanted to keep, but there's a handful. 89 O-Pee-Chee Ghostbusters. Here's a couple more of those. They were out of order. And one of the few Bill Murray close-up cards. So that was kind of cool. And these are all packed fresh too, by the way. So if anybody's thinking about going out there and buying a box of O-Pee-Chee Ghostbusters from 1989 and getting a whole bunch of good grades, best of luck. Best of luck to you, because this is how they're coming out. So, I mean, they're sharp all around too. I wonder if the grader involved is familiar with O-Pee-Chee at all, because I figure, Eye Appeal should take, it's off center. It's hard. It's on the grader. If he's a centering guy and Eye Appeal is destroyed by centering, in his opinion, then he's not going to agree with my Eye Appeal, which I feel sharpness is more important in certain cards, especially O-Pee-Chees, because they're unicorns centered. So a lot of times. But the 80s were a little bit better, I guess. Late 80s. Here's Rick Moranis, O-Pee-Chee Ghostbusters 2. He's got a card before this in Little Shop of Horrors. But that's in an 8. And then you got the Sigourney Weaver. Now, she's got her first card in 79, Topps Alien. But that's in a 9, so real good shape. I probably should have sent in all the off-centered ones separately, and then all the centered ones in a different order. I didn't even think about that. Just figured I'd get them all done. But this order I just threw it together. I've been waiting so long for other cards. But here's the Bill Murray Venkman. Pack fresh. He's got minor league baseball cards before that, but that's his first Topps card, so to speak, if you want to use old Beckett terms. Another one in a 7, O-Pee-Chee. I was going to hold on to one, but I figure I'll just grab a Topps and a 9, and if I want a Bill Murray card in my collection, which I do, but the ones I pulled, I figure I'll just sell those. I don't want an 80s card in a 7 so much, even if it is an O-Pee-Chee, but somebody might. I'm just a stickler for condition. There's the Harold Ramis. This might be his first card. I have no idea. But Harold Ramis is Spinkler in a 9. That was the best grade I got out of them all. I got a little overzealous on sending in Ghostbusters cards, though. I guess I was thinking about the new movie coming out and stuff. But here's one of the TV commercials. You got an 8 and a 9. Both O-Pee-Chees. These are all O-Pee-Chees. All the Ghostbusters cards are going to be O-Pee-Chees, and 2 8.5s on this commercial. Not too bad. Shows all the guys, so I figured that's cool. Got to be worth something, And I was hoping for 8s or 9s, so got what I was hoping for. And then this one got a 9 on that one, so I might hold on to this one, but I think I'm going to hold on to one of the Merry Christmas New York cards. I actually think it's kind of cool that it actually spells out the word Christmas, to be quite frank, because how many times do you see Xmas these days? And I don't know what the heck that is, but for me, Christmas is about the birth of Jesus and not so much about Santa Claus and, bunny rabbits or whatever else. So these are actually 88s, and I'll explain how I know that, because this is one of the first Freddy cards, though. Sticker, whatever this is. I think it's a sticker. Maybe not, but there's no date on there. But these are from 1988. I'm confident, and I'll show you why. So this next card pretty much sums that up. So these are from the same set. Well, Craig Wasson was in part 3. Part 3, I believe, was in 1988. It was definitely not in 1984. So 1984 was the original movie, and which Nancy Heather Langenkamp was in. But I believe this is Heather Langenkamp's first card, so that's why I picked that up. I might hold on to that one. I don't know yet. And then this one is her alone, so this one is available though, and most of these will be available. Like I said, I'm doing the cards I'm keeping are going to be at the end. The cards I'm for sure keeping are going to be at the end. And okay, that puts us into 1987. And here, I thought I already did these, but here are the bows. So the bows that I sent in, they had the print defect. That this is also acknowledged on Junk Wax Gems. I don't know if you can see the tip of the R in Future Stars. It's just kind of a random print defect. I feel like there's one of these for about every 20 of the other ones from what I've found. Maybe every 15 or 20, maybe less, or maybe more. I mean, actually. But I was wondering how they grade that, but it came back in 9. And I have a BGS 9 as well, with that defect. I'm not going to call it an error, but there's another one with the clipped R. JunkWaxGems.com. They talk about it briefly. So two 9s on the bows. Somebody was asking about those in the comments, and that's how they ended up, man. I was hoping for 9s at least. So 87 Topps 21 Jump Street. Just a hot young star Johnny Depp card, 9.5. Turned out pretty well. And like I said again, do not buy boxes of those from BBC Exchange. Do not buy it. Every card is destroyed in the box. Here's the Officer Tom Hansen. So I bought these as singles. I bought these for $1 a piece, or a couple of them I bought for a couple of bucks a piece on ComC. Several of them I bought on eBay. So this is what I consider the Johnny Depp rookie card, if there is one in this set, if he doesn't have anything earlier, which he might. But 2 9s on that one. So this is Officer Tom Hansen and number 9. So that's his, I don't know if it's his first card in the set, but this is the first one that acknowledges him as Officer Tom Hansen. I'm not a Johnny Depp fan at all. I might keep one of them just because I think I got one in a 9.5, but here's one in an 8, but we'll find that out at the end. I don't even remember. It's like going through these all over again for the first time. And then here's an early Corey Feldman. And then you got, I don't recall the other actors' names offhand, but there's an old Peachy in a 9. So that's a $1 card or 99 cents, 79 cents or whatever into a 9. That's pretty cool. And then here's the same card in an 8, old Peachy as well. So not too bad. And then now I think we go, so that was 1984. Now we're going straight all the way to 1979. So this is where it gets funner for me, that's for sure. I like the older stuff much better. 80s, man. I don't understand 80s cards, man. I get crushed on them. But here's a 1979 Burgess Meredith, actor Burgess Meredith. So I just pulled this from a pack right a couple of days before I sent the order out, and I slapped this one at the very end to make it from a 250 to a 252 card order. So that I don't know if I'm going to keep that. It's in the grade that I would want if I do want that card. I like him as an actor. I don't have him on my radar as somebody to collect, but this was in the same pack. The Rocky Is Cold Outside. Not quite the meat Rocky, but it's in really good shape and packed fresh. And that was card number 252 I sent out. So, and then here we go with the 1978 Topps. These are the ones I got from the solo box that I said I bought for $180. 23 out of 24 packs were in there. And I just now started grading some of those cards as of last October. And the Pete Rose 8.5, that turned out pretty good. Not bad. These are all available. Just want the rookies. And the other one was a 7.5. I figured it'd be an 8, but it does have a little, I think, stain up there in the top. But these are all available. If anybody wants any of these for trade night, just leave a comment. I'm probably going to do a video about that, though, soon with everything I have before I start selling it. So there's a Lasorda and an 8. Not too shabby if anybody's interested in that. I just thought it was in really good shape. The Schmidt was in a 7. I was hoping for an 8. I think I was probably hoping for an 8.5 or a 9 on the Tommy Lasorda as well. But This is what to expect, pack fresh, folks. These are fresh out of solo packs from however many years ago. They went straight into holders, so just been stored ever since. And boy, see, this one's a 7. This is a Topps and a 7. The Nolan Ryan and Necro. Well, the 5 Peaches I have, they look like 9s compared to that. So that's going to be fun in the next order. And this one, I knew this one was going to grade well. And I remember seeing it in the preview video. And sure enough, that's a really nice card. So I don't know what kind of value this one has, but I don't think there probably are too many 9s. But that's pretty sweet. Hall of Famer. I love the All-Star logo on the 78s as well. That's I don't always like them. In fact, 79s or 76s, I can't remember. One of them I cannot stand. I feel like it ruins the card actually. It's just too big of a stripe for me. And then the Bobby Cox, I really thought this would be an 8. It is a bit diamond cut though. I didn't notice that. On the top, you can see it's kind of on an angle. But that's in a 7. Those are hard to find in high grade, from what I understand. Here's an Aerosmith 78 Topps, or I'm sorry, Donruss Aerosmith Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts. It's funny because people always talk about that as a Beatles movie, but the Beatles aren't even in it, as far as I know, or they're not in the card set anyhow. Beatles set. They say it's a Beatles set. Pardon me. 7.5 though, and that's a 1978 card, so pretty decent grade on that one. And they're impossible to find centered. I bought boxes of those, and every single one is 90-10 centering. So that's the best centered one I've ever bought or owned. Now we're getting into the Star Wars. Or I'm sorry, Superman. Now I'm all over the place, man. Sleep deprived. Here's a Hackman in a 6. Had those 2 other ones in a 5 earlier. But this one's, it's OC top to bottom and left to right, so totally justifiable. 7 on this one. This one I do not agree with so much. To me, that looks like an 8 or a 9. I'm looking through the camera right now. I'm trying to look over top of it. I don't understand. That one I actually do not agree with. I might dispute that one a little bit. And then we got a Spielberg here, and a 7. So that's right on the brink of a 7 centering. It could not go even a slight hair any further than that and be considered a 7. So I actually probably was blessed with that one. I mean, comes and goes in those in every order. You know, you get the blessings and you get the surprises. Always happens. 77 O-Pee-Chee Star Wars. We got a run of these now. So that's George Lucas in the background. That's probably why I picked this one up. But got it in a 7. Not too bad. Centering must have saved that one. Got pretty decent eye appeal on it. They got a early Peter Cushing. This is years after his first card though. In an 8. O-Pee-Chee as well. These should all be O-Pee-Chees until we get into the actually I think they all are O-Pee-Chees, but I can't remember. We'll find out as we go. Here's the George Lucas again. This one's a 5.5. Probably hoping to pull a 6 out of it, but as you can see, it's diamond cut. Even if it's O-Pee-Chee, it's kind of ruins the aesthetic of it. So, but I thought I could squeeze a 6 or a 7 out of it, but that's a George Lucas O-Pee-Chee there anyway. Then we got another George Lucas in a 7 O-Pee-Chee. A little bit better on that one. All available. And here we go. Director George Lucas and Greedo. So this one, I would think it's either this one of him and the Alec Guinness or him and Mark Hamill, which I would consider to be his rookie. But gave me a 7 on this. So I think the centering saved it again because it does have kind of a not so awesome corner on it. And here's this one I just bought just because it was just so sharp and centered pretty well. So for a 77 O-Pee-Chee card, it's just absurdly well conditioned. So that's in an 8. Nothing real special going on. I think they're taking R2D2 away, the Jawas, and then you got C-3PO in the background there. And then this one I was hoping for an 8. But as I didn't notice, it has that yellow line, probably for where the cutter was supposed to be. So it's probably actually a little overcut, but that cost it, I think, from being an 8. So I think it's still pretty fair of a grade, but that's a pretty good eye appeal 7, I think, for anybody who likes, 3PO and R2 Star Wars fans. I am a Star Wars fan, but I only want the actor cards. So the other ones are all available. And then the doubles of the actor cards would be as well. 8.5 on this one. You got R2 and C3PO there, so pretty good grade on that one. Then we got Grand Moff Tarkin, and not so shabby on that. I was hoping for an 8, but I can see where they're coming from. It does have more chipping than I remember. So 7. And then that is right on the brink of a 7 centering. So for sure, I agree with that 100%. Got an 8. 73 Topps Kung Fu Tea with the Master. This is actually going to have to end up being 3 videos, I think. I'm screwing this up. And that's David Carradine. I'd have to say probably David Carradine's, rookies would be in that set, if you will. I hate using the term rookie, but I'm a Beckett kid, I grew up with Beckett's, and that's just what we call everything. So, now that we're all transitioning into non-sport, it just naturally comes with the territory. So I'm not trying to offend anybody with that, and I don't want to. I'm hoping nobody's gritting their teeth every time I say that, but that's just kind of burned in my brain. Now that one had a little bit. I was hoping for an 8 on this one as well, but this is a cooler card because you got Kane there in action, and he's bloodied up. Now we're getting into 1966. So this is. I was happy. I was very happy about these ones. I don't know if I showed the. I'll show those last anyway. Okay, so 1966 Donruss. That's Bruce Lee. Well, Bruce Lee's in here somewhere. I think that's him in the background, putting a hurting on that guy. And then you got Green Hornet beating up the other guy there. But in a 7, that's a 1966 card in a 7. So that's an early Bruce Lee card. You can't see his face in that one. So this one I bought just because it was so sharp. It was just so sharp. I think it was $4 or $5. And then this one you got Bruce Lee there. Never saw the show, so if it wasn't for that little tiny, well, it's a little bigger than I thought, but if it wasn't for that ding, at least a 7. So that's a pretty cool one, though. So, Bruce Lee. And Kato throwing the old backhand. Don't say it. Like he's got some mouthy kids in the back seat. Got him in a 7, though. So this is pretty cool. I'm actually tempted to hold on to this one. But as you'll see, which I'm going to have to do a 3rd video, unfortunately, you'll see why in the next video, why I might not hold on to that one. So that's pretty cool. Bruce Lee in a 7, 1966. Here we go again. This is the Hornet playing cards, Green Hornet, and then Bruce Lee as well in a 7. It's weird, though, because I feel like the one that's a 7 should be higher. Well, it is OC top to bottom a lot, actually. I never noticed that. Never noticed that. Okay. No, that's all good. So that's still in a 7. That's a 1960 card in a 7. So Kato again. 6 of spades in a 7. I like this one a little better. Obviously better centering. But it's cool, real clean and sharp. And then here he's got his head turned. But this one ended up in 8.5. And this one I just bought at the last minute and threw in at the last minute too. So very, very pleased with that, obviously. An 8.5 in a 1966 Bruce Lee card. It's got to be a desirable card. Now, these were sold to me as Kato cards, Bruce Lee cards on ComC. And I figure I ought to send them right back to them because they call them Green Hornet. And I can't tell. It doesn't look like Bruce Lee to me, but I can't tell with the mask. So I think these are mislisted. But to get the King of Clubs and the King of Spades. And I would imagine Green Hornet would probably be the king if anybody would be in that set, right? So, stands to reason. All right, so we got a couple more here, and then I'm wrapping it up. So last 4 are Who cards from 1966 Dutch Gum. We got the Who, and I believe this is the earliest. I could be wrong. I think they got 4 different cards in the set. Got this one in a 7, so that's pretty good grade in a 1966 card, I'd have to say. These all cost me between $10 and $14 a piece. And got this one in an 8, same card. So that's a beauty. Cool. 1966 card in an 8. Can't go wrong. But then we got a 9. I'm not a fan of the Who. I respect their music, but I am not a fan. So all these Who cards are available. The Who stickers, the Who cards, all of them. Even the 9. So got the 9 in that one and another 9. So two of them ended up 9s. And all 4 graded well. So it was $10, $11, and 2 were $14, if I remember correctly, 14 and change. Well worth it. Well worth it. So that's probably the highlight, and just so happened to be the oldest cards in the whole order that ended up being the highlight. A lot of disappointments in the 80s, but the 60s, man, wow, outdid themselves. Did pretty good in the 70s too. I'll get to the PC stuff in a third video. I have no choice at this point. God bless. Thanks for watching.